My partner said he'd leave me if I gained weight. I'm now pregnant and terrified. When I met Ethan, I was the smallest I'd ever been. Size 2, toned, polished, the kind of body I had to fight myself for. Skip meals, skip dessert, count every step, sleep hungry. Ethan noticed. I love a woman who takes care of herself, he said over our first date. It sounded like a compliment then. It became a warning later. He had rules, but not in the way you'd expect. No shouting, no cheating, no emotional vulnerability, and no letting yourself go. Translation, no gaining weight, no softness, no stretch marks, just perfection at all times. I thought I could live with it. I thought for love I could be small forever until I got pregnant. I found out the day after my 29th birthday. I had blamed the nausea on the champagne and the ice cream I let myself have just this once. Ethan had looked concerned when I took a second scoop. You sure you want that? He said, half laughing. I told myself it was fine. It was my birthday. It would be the last time I allowed myself to feel full. The test was positive, 2 pink lines, bold, no ambiguity. I stared at them for 10 full minutes, unable to breathe. We weren't trying. We were actively avoiding. Ethan had always said he didn't want kids. They wreck your body, I've seen it, he said once. You're not like other women, you actually care. I had smiled. Stupid, naive smile. For a week I told no one. I wore loose clothes, called in sick to work, and cried into my pillow at night. I stared at my body in the mirror. Was my stomach already thicker? Were my hips wider? Or was it just in my head? I imagined telling Ethan. I imagined the look on his face when he realized what this meant. Not just a baby, but weight. Real, permanent, life-altering weight. He once told me he broke up with a girl because she gained 15 pounds in law school. You just lose respect. He said, if they don't care, why should you? The thought of telling him made my hands shake, but I had to. It was his baby too. He was reading emails on the couch when I told him. I need to talk to you, I said. He didn't look up. Okay, talk. I stood there, heart hammering. I'm pregnant. He froze, slowly looked up. What? I'm pregnant. Silence. He blinked, put his phone down. You're sure? I nodded. I took 3 tests. Another long pause. Are you keeping it? The question hit me like a slap. I don't know. You can't. We talked about this. I know, but... He stood, hands on his hips. You know I don't want kids. I told you that from the beginning. I didn't do this on purpose, Ethan. Things happen. He ran his hands through his hair. You know what pregnancy does to a woman's body? I stared at him. That's your first concern? It's a concern. Jesus, Harper, you know how hard I work to keep our life together. The image, the routine. You said you wanted that too. Tears welled in my eyes. I didn't plan this, but I'm not a machine. I can't just turn it off. His voice dropped hard and cold. If you keep this baby, I'm gone. The words stayed with me all night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I watched him drift off peacefully as if he hadn't just threatened to abandon me. I thought about all the compromises I'd made, the workouts I forced myself through when I was exhausted, the hunger pains I ignored, the meals I skipped, all to keep his love. And now a heartbeat inside me was enough to make him walk away. What kind of love was that? I made the appointment to talk to a counselor. Not a termination, not yet, just someone to talk to, someone who wouldn't weigh me or judge my body or tell me love was a size. The therapist, Claire, was soft-spoken, middle-aged, and didn't blink when I told her everything. She listened, really listened, and when I finished, she said, "Are you afraid of becoming a mother, or are you afraid of losing him?" The silence that followed was deafening. By week 10, Ethan had stopped pretending to care. He still came home, still cooked his perfect little protein-packed dinners, but he didn't ask how I felt. He didn't touch me, and every time I picked up something with carbs, he'd stare. Not say anything, just stare. One night, I ate a slice of toast, just one. He looked at me and said, "Slippery slope." I bit down so hard I almost cracked my tooth. I started hiding food, nuts in my desk drawer, crackers in the glove box, smoothies in the laundry room while he was upstairs. It felt like an eating disorder in reverse. I wasn't trying to shrink anymore. I was trying to feed this little being, this flicker of hope that had become the only thing keeping me upright. I began to talk to the baby. Soft whispers when I was alone. "I'll protect you. I'm sorry he's like this. You deserve love that doesn't come with strings." One night, I felt a flutter, the first real movement. It broke me. I curled up on the bathroom floor and sobbed. Not because I was afraid, but because I finally knew what I wanted. I told him at 13 weeks, I'm keeping her. He turned to me like I'd slapped him. Her? I found out it's a girl. He stared, then, well, I guess you made your choice. I nodded. He went upstairs. An hour later, he came back down with a duffel bag. I'll come back for the rest next week. That was it. No fight, no guilt, just gone. The first few days were harder than I imagined. I was alone, truly alone, no partner, no plan, no idea how to tell my family, my friends, how to be a mother. But strangely, I started to breathe easier. There was no one commenting on my body, no one sighing when I asked for help, no one trying to shame me into disappearing. I started going on walks, not to burn calories, just to move. I ate when I was hungry, slept when I could, bought maternity leggings, and marveled at how comfortable life could be when it wasn't about squeezing into expectations. I gained weight, and for the first time in years, I didn't hate myself for it. He texted at 20 weeks. Still ruining your body? I stared at the message. Then I sent back a photo. Me, pregnant, glowing, hand on my belly, and smiling. He didn't reply, but I got another message 2 days later, from an unknown number. A woman. Hi, I don't know you, but I'm Ethan's ex. I saw the photo. I just wanted to say, you're braver than I was. When Lily was born, it wasn't quiet or peaceful. It was raw, painful, intense, but real. And when they placed her on my chest, slick and screaming and alive, something inside me cracked wide open. She was perfect, tiny, pink, loud, and mine. The first time I saw myself in the mirror after giving birth, I cried. Not because I hated what I saw, but because I didn't. There were stretch marks, loose skin, tired eyes, but also strength, warmth, a softness I'd been denied for years. I looked like a mother. I looked like someone who had survived. It's been 6 months now. Ethan never reached out again. I heard he's dating someone new, a fitness influencer. Good luck to her. Sometimes I still flinch when I eat too much, or when I skip a workout. The voices he planted are hard to unroot. But when I hold Lily, those fears go quiet. She doesn't care what I weigh. She only knows I'm warm, that I feed her, rock her, sing her to sleep. She knows love that doesn't shrink, that grows, that nourishes, and so do I. Finally.